Hi, I'm Kath, and welcome to Ethnic Studies and Post-Colonial Criticism, wherein we're going to delve into short introduction, founders or the intellectuals, linguistic effects, as well as the socio-emotional factors, artistic influences, and lastly, we are going to critique one literary piece. What is ethnic studies? In light of recent events in the community, we decided to address some public concerns regarding the implementations of ethnic studies and ethnic literature courses in the Power Unified School District. First, let's start with defining ethnic studies. Northern Arizona University defines ethnic studies as the interdisciplinary study of race and ethnicity, as understood through the perspectives of major underrepresented racial groups in the United States. The four foundational disciplines of ethnic studies are African American Studies, Asian American Studies, Chicano Latino Studies, Native American Studies, and Indigenous Studies. In addition, when we say ethnic studies, it focuses on the histories, cultures, and social realities of different ethnic groups within a society. Now, what is post-colonial criticism? Essentially, it's a literary theory that focuses on the impacts of colonialism. It mainly focuses on the post-colonial literature written by citizens of current or former colonies and may examine the ways in which a writer of colonized country will attempt to describe their own often marginalized experiences and articulate their own identity under or in the aftermath of colonization. However, post-colonial criticism may also look at the literature written by authors from colonizing countries about the colonized country, or even just literature which relates in any every way to the colonial empire. In these cases, the post-colonial critic may look at how our authors from the empire attempt to use language to justify their dominance, which other authors often did, by describing native citizens as uncivilized and by claiming that the dominant country is civilizing them through colonization. In addition, post-colonial criticism delves into the lasting effects of colonialism. It analyzes how Western powers dominated and represented non-Western cultures. Now, let's move on to the founders or intellectuals of post-colonial criticism and social studies. First, we have W. E. Du Bois. He is an African-American sociologist, historian, writer, and activist, considered the founder of African American Studies. Next, we have Gloria Azaldua. She is a Chicana feminist writer and theorist. Her work focused on the experiences of women of color, particularly those of Mexican descent. James Baldwin, an African-American novelist, essayist, and social critic. His work explored the themes of race, identity, and religion in America. Vine Deloria Jr. He is an American Indian intellectual and activist who championed indigenous rights and self-determination. His work explored the history, culture, and spirituality of Native American culture. Ronald Takaki is an Asian American historian who focused on the experiences of Asian Americans in the United States. His work highlighted the diverse histories and contributions of Asian American communities. Next, we have Edward Said. He is a Palestinian American literary critic and theorist. His seminal work, Orientalism, in 1978 exposed how Western scholarship misinterpreted and stereotyped Eastern culture. Frantz Fanon. He is a Mardukinian psychiatrist, philosopher, and revolutionary. His writings explored the psychological impact of colonialism on colonized peoples. Gayatri Spivak, an Indian literary theorist and post-colonial critic. Her work focuses on the subaltern, the marginalized voices silenced by colonial power structures.
Impact of language and ethnic studies and post-colonial criticism. So let's talk about linguistics. Linguistics plays a crucial role in both ethnic studies and post-colonial criticism. So, during post-colonial criticism, post-colonial critics recognize that language is a powerful tool in shaping cultural narratives and power dynamics. And also, linguistics helps them analyze how colonialism impacted language, literature, and identity. For instance, they examine how colonial languages were imposed on indigenous populations, leading to linguistic disposition and cultural erasure. So, by studying linguistic elements, post-colonial critics unveil the complexities of language as both a means of oppression and a site of resistance. During ethnic studies criticism, linguistics provides a lens through which ethnic studies scholars examine language as a vehicle for cultural expression and identity, and also they investigate how language reflects ethnic experiences, social norms, and power structures. Linguistic analysis helps uncover hidden biases, stereotypes, and exclusionary practices within text. By understanding language variation and multilingualism, ethnic studies scholars challenge dominant narratives and amplify marginalized voices. The importance of linguistics in the fields of ethnic studies and post-colonial criticism cannot be overstated. Linguistics allows us to dissect how colonialism affected language, culture, and identity, and also by analyzing linguistic shifts during colonization, we gain insights into power dynamics, cultural erasure, and resistance. And also by understanding language nuances helps us appreciate the complexities of post-colonial literature and its impact on societies.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Rhoda S. Macalay, and today I'll be discussing the socio-emotional factors and artistic influences. Socio-emotional factors refer to the social and emotional experiences that influence an individual's identity and interactions with others. When we say socio-emotional factors, it encompasses a wide range of experiences, including social relationships, cultural influences, emotional well-being, and psychological development. These factors play a significant role in shaping an individual's personality, behavior, and overall social functioning. These factors are crucial in ethnic studies as they affect how racial and ethnic groups perceive themselves and others, and how they navigate their social environments. Socio-emotional factors are integral in ethnic studies because they deeply influence how individuals within racial and ethnic groups perceive themselves and others, as well as how they navigate their social environments. Understanding these factors is essential for gaining insight into the complexities of identity formation, intergroups dynamics, and the experiences of marginalized communities. And in post-colonial criticism, socio-emotional factors can be seen in the emotional responses of characters to colonial oppression, such as feelings of inferiority, anger, or resistance. So, in post-colonial criticism, socio-emotional factors are often evident in the emotional responses of characters to colonial oppression. These responses may include feelings of inferiority, anger, resentment, or resistance, which reflect the psychological impact of colonial domination on individuals and communities. Analyzing these emotions helps to illuminate the human experiences within the context of colonialism and its aftermath. So now let's proceed to the artistic influences. Artistic influences refer to the ways in which art, such as literature, visual art, music, and etc., reflects and shapes cultural and social experiences. So, in artistic influences encompass the various ways in which art, including literature, visual art, music, and other forms of expression, both reflects and shapes cultural and social experiences. Art has the power to capture the nuances of human existence, challenge societal norms, provoke thoughts, and inspire change. By examining artistic influences, we can gain deeper insight into the values, beliefs, and dynamics of different cultures and societies throughout history and in the present day. And in ethnic studies, art is often analyzed as a form of cultural expression that reflects the experiences, histories, and identities of racial and ethnic groups. So, in ethnic studies, art is frequently analyzed as a form of cultural expression that serves as a powerful tool for reflecting the experiences, histories, and identities of racial and ethnic groups. Artistic works such as literature, visual art, music, and performance offer insight into the lives, experiences of marginalized communities, providing a platform for voices that have been historically silenced or marginalized. By examining art through the lens of ethnic studies, scholar can uncover the diverse narrative, perspectives, and struggles of different racial and ethnic groups, contributing to a deeper understanding of cultural dynamics and social justice issues. So lastly, in post-colonial criticism, art is seen as a medium through which post-colonial subjects can express their experiences of colonialism and its aftermath, and critique colonial power structures.
Things Fall Apart by Chinua Achebe is a classic example of a post-colonial literary text that explores the effects of colonialism on traditional African societies. So Chinua Achebe was a Nigerian novelist, poet, and critic regarded as the dominant figure of modern African literature. So his first novel, Things Fall Apart, is a masterpiece in post-colonial literature. Things Fall Apart is a powerful example of a post-colonial and ethnic critique of colonialism and race in literature. So Chinua Achebe's first novel, Things Fall Apart, has been the subject of both ethnic and post-colonial criticisms, shedding light on various aspects of the portrayal and representation of African culture and the impact of colonialism. Things Fall Apart is a novel by Chinua Achebe published in 1958. It tells the story of an Igbo village in Nigeria and the impact of European colonization on the culture and traditions of the village. Here is the summary of the novel. Things Fall Apart by Chinua Achebe is the story of Okunku, a powerful warrior and influential leader within the Igbo community of Amofia in Nigeria. So Okunku is haunted by the actions of his father, which is Unuka, who was considered a failure within their community. It is because of his laziness, and he also has a lot of debt. So Okunku attempts to overcome this by being overly manly, dominating his wives, and being controlling. So Okunku doesn't want to be like his father, so he does things for him to not be considered lazy and weak, but it results in him being overmanly, and he had the trait of being dominant and controlling. So the novel also explores the impact of colonial government and European missionaries on Igbo tribe society and the subsequent clash between tradition and change. So as the missionary and colonial forces encroach ethnic criticism, so the novel Things Fall Apart explores the Igbo culture and traditions and also the impact of colonialism on the indigenous community. So the novel offers a profound exploration of the Igbo society. It reveals the cultural practices, the beliefs and social dynamics of the people. It provides valuable insights into the pre-colonial Igbo community's way of life, their governance, spiritual practices, gender roles, and communal decision-making processes. It can be read in the novel that the protagonist Okonkwo embodies the traditional ideals of masculinity and grapples with the complexities of the changing world around him, offering a lens through which the readers can understand the societal norms and dynamics of the Igbo people. So the novel, through its intricate portrayal of the Igbo culture and traditions, critically examines the impact of colonization on indigenous societies. It explores the tensions between the Igbo community and European colonizers, highlighting the violence and cultural destruction brought by colonialism. So Things Fall Apart provides an understanding of the complexities of the Igbo people and their culture in the face of colonialism. Now let's proceed to post-colonial criticism. So Things Fall Apart can be read as a critique of the damaging effects of colonialism on traditional Igbo society in Nigeria. So the novel vividly depicts the struggles of the protagonist, which is Okonkwo, and his community as they confront the powerful and disruptive forces of colonialism. So it highlights the power imbalances between the colonizers and the colonized, as well as how the Igbo people resisted and challenged the colonial forces. So Things Fall Apart aligns with post-colonial criticism by portraying the complexities of colonial encounters, shedding light on the cultural clashes, and showcasing the multifaceted responses of the indigenous people to colonial domination. So in conclusion, the novel Things Fall Apart stands as a cornerstone in the exploration of the colonialism and cultural identity. It serves as a significant literary work that invites in-depth analysis from both ethnic studies and post-colonial criticism's perspectives. Its multifaceted narrative and rich portrayal of the Igbo culture and at the same time the impact of colonialism. That's it, and thank you for listening.